If I'm going to be transparent about my successes, then I have to tell you about my failures as well. I didn't pass my Block B medical school exams. I can't even begin to tell you the level of anger and frustration that I was feeling when I saw those results, when they came in and I realized that I didn't meet the mark. Um, just really disheartening and discouraging. I'm grateful that I have, just a good foundation in myself, but also just, excellent people in my circle that kind of encourage me and lift me up. One huge thing about me is that I always want to figure out when something doesn't go wrong, I put that on my back. I'm very introspective. I look inside of me, I look at what I did, and I try to figure out where my weaknesses were. Where I didn't do the right thing that led me, to this position. It was disheartening, y'all. I was angry, I was frustrated, but you always want to figure out what you did so you don't get back in that position again. So looking back over Block B, I had to identify my weaknesses and I identified two main ones. The first one was that, listen, I just was not strategic with my time. Block B is very different from Block A for two main reasons. One of them is Block B is very it's very weirdly timed, and what I mean by that is that it's right after Thanksgiving break, so it starts early December. Then you have Christmas break right after week 3 of this second block, right, of Block B. And then you have from January to like the end of February, beginning of March, that's when Block B ends, right? And so I came off of Thanksgiving break. I'm still in kind of break mode, you know what I'm saying? And then Christmas break is coming up. So I'm in this weird space between two breaks where I'm like, oh, let me just chill out a little bit. I'll catch up on Christmas break. That's cap. I was with family. I brought my computer thinking I was gonna study. Time flew. I was with them like Christmas, it flew by, and I didn't get nothing done. So now we're beginning of January, and I'm like, okay, right, I gotta get back on it, but I still got time. We early in the block. Let me just, chill out. Yeah, and listen, and beginning of January turned into mid-January, and then kind of towards the end of January, I'm like, oh snap, Pat, you really gotta catch up. Like, what is going on? And that didn't really help out because the second aspect of why Block B is a little different is Block B is full of just a lot more information that you have to remember. At least for me, it was very table-like information. We had a lot of medicines, a lot of pharmacology that we kind of had to remember. And what I mean by that, for example, I have to know furosemide is a loop diuretic versus I don't know, spironolactone, which is an aldosterone blocker. Like it was just a lot to remember. So if I wasn't strategic with my time, this was gonna kick my butt. So what ended up happening is that I'm at the end of the block right now. I'm at the final weeks and I'm trying to catch up with week 1 and still learn the information they're giving me today. And then catch up with week 2 and learn the information they're giving me like as it keeps coming. It was a mess, y'all. But I have to say, the truth of the matter is, it wasn't that I didn't put in work. I wasn't after class watching TV. That's not what happened, guys. I put in work, which is why it was disappointing, but it wasn't strategic work. So that's the first reason that I realized I didn't do well. The second reason, I have to say, I didn't have that same sense of urgency that I had in Block A. My father always tells me this, and I love this statement, and it's always stuck with me. He says the danger of success is success itself. What I mean by that is Block A, I came in, I was new to med school. I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta get it. By week 3, I was already reviewing, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on it. Now I got that first exam, I passed it, I did well. I'm like, oh, okay, I know how they ask questions. I know what to expect.
I know what to expect. That's cap.
What ended up happening is that it ended up like that lack of urgency, like it ended up in procrastination. And now 2 to 3 weeks before the block is ending, when I have my exams coming, I'm trying to make up for all that information that I missed. And it was a productive 2 to 3 weeks, but you can't erase 8 weeks of not being on your game. I remember walking into the exam, I didn't feel like I was like crazy underprepared. But I can't say I walked in with the same umph I had in Block A. Man, I got the results, and just frustrated out of my mind. Because I knew I could have done better. And you have to look at yourself, as I said, and just say, what could you have done better? What I love about University of Connecticut, UConn, where I'm at right now, School of Medicine, is that Their tests are not meant to weed you out. They're meant to identify the gaps. And once we've identified those gaps, we strengthen the knowledge. And when we strengthen the knowledge, we reassess to make sure that you understand it. And I like that because as future doctors, they understand that, we're in medical school because we have what it takes. There's no question about that. But we're gonna have future patients in our hands. So let's make sure we understand what's good. So yeah, this whole week has been reassessment, enhancement. They call it enhancement, just an enhancement week, where those that didn't do well the first time get to essentially review everything, and just take it again at the end of the week. Let me tell y'all something. This week I was putting in work. It was a sense of urgency like never before. I don't know what happens if you don't pass, because I didn't give myself the option. I don't know what happens if you don't pass enhancement. I don't know. Maybe they're somewhere in the policy book. I didn't even give myself the option, so I don't know about that. I said, Pat, sit down, get this done. I was strategic with my time, y'all. I'm talking about day in, day out. I was doing what I had to do, and enhancement was on Friday, the enhancement test. I was nervous. I put in a lot of work, but I was just so nervous. But I did what I could. I felt like I had a better grasp on the information. The results got released, and I told y'all I'm gonna be transparent with the journey. So whatever it is, I'm going to show you guys just a live look into my reaction of my exam results. So, yep. All right, y'all. So it's Saturday night. Took the exam yesterday, the Friday, the reassessment. I felt like I had a better grasp on it. So the results are in. I'm going to open them in front of you, and you guys are going to see just how I feel about it. Okay. All right, scroll down. Did I catch you? Do you think I didn't pass? Let me listen. Whatever you do in life, try your best not to fail twice. You know what I'm saying? Fail the first time is normal, but try not to fail twice. Oh man, bro, the relief. Let me tell you, the relief when I saw that. Listen, I did pretty well on it too. And it feels good to know that I didn't do well because I was trying to finesse or be a good test taker or trying to, no. I did well because I understood. I had a deep understanding of the information. As a future physician, right now in medical school, I can't be studying to pass tests. I have to study because I understand the information. Now, there's a big lesson that I learned throughout this whole ordeal that I'd like to share with you guys. Do me a favor, and when you fall, I'm gonna say something a little controversial, but when you fall, don't get back up. I know that goes against a lot of what we're taught, but when you fall, do not get back up. Do not get back up until you figure out why you fell. All right, so what I mean by this is that if you fall, a lot of people say, just get back up again and keep going. If you do that, you risk falling from the same thing that knocked you down in the first place. But I want you to fall, as one of my boys said, he said, fail forward. So fall forward, don't fall backward or fall where you're at. You know what I'm saying? When you fall on that ground, while you're on that ground, you ask one of your friends to give you a piece of paper with a pen, and you write down why you think you fell. Now, sometimes you fell because life just knocked you down, it just popped you in your mouth, family crisis, whatever it is. But there are sometimes that we fall, and we caused that fall. You have to identify what that is. You have to identify why it happened, the system that got you there. And once you figure that out, and you understand it, and you know how to beat it, then you have permission to get back up and walk. You have the permission to get back up and move forward again. It's the same thing I did during this whole ordeal. It was frustrating, and I fell when I found out my results. But while on the ground, I understood why I fell. I identified the gaps, and I'm grateful that I was in a system that allowed me to enhance those gaps and now move forward and, in the correct way with the right amount of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So you could be watching this right now, and I don't know what field you're in, medicine, I don't know, physical therapy, whatever, nursing, I don't know, teacher, you're a law student, I don't know what field you're in, or maybe you're in the field of life, let's just put it that way. When you fall, figure out what got you there, figure out what got you on the ground. identify what got you on the ground, identify those gaps, and get up with that knowledge to move forward again. Y'all, this has been an incredible experience. I'm so glad that I failed, crazy as that sounds, because I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much just about how to move forward, and just everything that I didn't have this block going into block C, this third block that's coming up in like a week. I'm coming with that sense of urgency. I'm coming hungry, and I'm coming with a system that's I'm looking forward to this being the best block of my blocks in med school so far. So listen, I told you guys, man, this is great. I'm actually getting a little emotional. Man, I told you guys I'm going to share my successes, but I also wanted to share those failures because there are lessons in that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. It's Dr. Violin. Be blessed, to be encouraged, and remember to fall forward.